Hello and welcome to the whatever episode this is that's recorded. I am your host, Johnny Dolezal, as always. With me tonight, I have my birthday homie, my birthday buddy, the one, the only, Paul Amann. Paul, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on here.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
it's pretty exciting.
Thanks for coming down all the way from Panama City.
Yes, right. Yeah. Good old northern Florida.
Oh.
Yeah. It's something.
Up in the cold, huh?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly right.
Yeah. Not like us Southerners down here in Orlando.
No, you got it easy.
How far of a drive is it?
Well, according to Google Maps, it's supposed to be like 5 hours and like 30 minutes, but it ended up taking me almost like 6.5 hours after traffic jams, accidents.
Yep.
The usual Florida traffic stuff.
Yep. People just have to kill themselves on the road here in Florida.
Yeah, apparently.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm glad that you're able to make it down. We can celebrate our birthdays together.
Yes, right.
Yep. I'd like to tell the story about how we found out that we have the same birthday. Do you remember this story?
I was going to ask you how we knew, because it's literally a question. I don't remember exactly how it happened.
I'll tell you how it happened.
Vague memories. Please
I'll tell you how it happened. We were, and I don't know what it's called, but it was freshman year. We were both in ROTC, and we were doing a thing. It was in our AS 100 class. Okay. And I've talked to Zach, to Sam, and Corey, and I've asked them what the thing is called that we were doing, but it's like a situational thing where you have to abide by a set of restrictions to produce an end result. And I cannot remember what that's called. There's like a specific term for it.
You like a GLP?
Thank you.
Yeah. How do they not know what that is?
I don't know. They're idiots.
Yeah. Apparently. Holy cow. We only did them for like 4 or 5 years of our lives.
Well, yeah. I mean, I forgot about it. I mean, I guess I wasn't in there as long as you guys.
Group leadership project.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's what it was called. All right. Interesting. Just give me 1 second here. Yeah. So we were doing a GLP.
Okay.
And the GLP was that we couldn't talk, but we had to arrange our class in oldest to youngest or youngest to oldest. I can't remember what it was. And so it ended up, we did it just by hand signals. And so I ended up coming up to you or you to me. And I'm like,
it's washing back over me right now.
Yeah. So right. And you and I showed 2. We're like, okay, so February. And then 2/6. So like, no fucking way. And then 96. Oh, you and I were freaking out hard on the inside.
Yeah, I completely forgot that's how it went. But yeah, I remember I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Oh my God, we have the same freaking birthday. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
That's crazy. God.
That was literally the question on my mind, was how the heck did we figure out?
I will never forget that, until the day I die. Yeah, that's one of my favorite stories from college.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
Good stuff. There are a lot of them. A lot of good stories from college.
The most fun you never want to have again.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Although, do we want to have them again, Paul? Do we?
I don't know about that. Do we?
I'd love to have the fun again, but I wouldn't want to have the situation upon which we felt the need to have that fun.
That's true.
The stress.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, there was a lot about college that was just good. Honestly.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say that just was shit.
Oh well, I mean, there's plenty of that, but I find myself a lot of times just thinking back to the good old days of our house and stuff that we had, me hosting some parties and stuff, and you hear music on the radio of the songs that we always used to play, and it just kind of washes back over you.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty awesome.
Or you hear songs on the radio and they're like, oh God, that was in a Vine, wasn't it? That's how I know that.
Oh,
was it a meme? Paul and I just got done watching.
God bless Vine. You can't even talk.
Paul and I just got done watching, I would argue, the funniest thing I've ever actually seen in my life.
Oh, it's true.
This funnier than any stand-up special, funnier than any Netflix show, funnier than Step Brothers, even. MLG.
Big stuff.
MLG, like Sid?
Yeah, Sid the Kid.
MLG.
MLG Sid the Kid. Look it up. Wow. Your life will literally be changed. I mean, it is something else.
Yeah, it's...
We can't even get...
just thinking about it. Just thinking about it. that is peak humor.
That's right.
Right there. And I don't know, it's I don't know what it is about it that's so funny. It's just so raw, and it's so like right now it's like, hey, fuck you, this is funny.
I mean, it all goes back to like Vine, like evolved Vine humor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Vine started out as kind of lame, honestly, with like creators doing stuff that they thought was kind of cool or cheesy or funny. Yeah, Viners. Yeah. But then right towards the end of Vine's lifespan, things just got chaotic.
That was the golden era.
That was the absolute golden era of memery and just dank vines.
That was the gold rush of memes right there. Everyone just flooded in, and they just struck gold everywhere they went.
Especially when they knew that Vine was on its way out.
Our the good friend Zach knows exactly what the hell we're talking about right now.
Yeah, Zach and I, when we figured this stuff, the whole Vine thing out and how dank it could possibly be, this is sophomore year of college. We were just crying every time. Yep. We would spend hours, instead of doing homework or projects, we would spend hours scrolling through Vine, seeing what dankness we could figure out and find.
It was what we needed exactly when we needed it.
Exactly. Just bass boosted
vines. What a concept.
Honestly, like I don't even know. Like I don't know where it started or how it started, but it's a beautiful thing.
Paul, I'd like to ask you to open up your history Vine textbook to page 1, and let's get started on the history of bass boosted
Professor
vines.
Dolezal is about to teach me a lesson.
So bass boosted vines, from my own research, was started our freshman year of college. And I'll tell you the first time I saw one was we were sitting at the View, which was our school's overpriced cafeteria that's run by Nazis.
That's right. It's so true. It didn't change in 5 years.
Nope.
Did you know that the Vine actually has like...
The Vine or the View?
Sorry, not the Vine. Holy smokes. The View, not the Vine. Did you know the View actually has like automated,
like security styles? No, yeah.
Can you believe that?
Marcus. Yeah, did Marcus send you that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like, what do you think? Is this Fort Knox?
Like,
no, it's the View.
Like for anyone who is listening here, well, obviously you can't watch this shit because we're not videotaping it. But so like it used to be you just hand your student ID to a cashier or whatever you want to call them. And then they scan your ID. You're a student and you have meals left. You go in.
Pretty basic.
But now it looks like you're going through the fucking airport.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like you have to scan your card. There's like these metal turnstiles with these glass doors that slide open. How much did that cost?
I don't even want to know.
Probably too fucking much.
Yeah, I don't want to know. Honestly, you're going to pay that much to guard people from getting in and getting their rubber eggs,
Their shit
and their broken ass
food
ice cream machine
that never literally McDonald's has a higher functioning ice cream machine than the View at St. Thomas. Anyway,
I could speak forever about the View.
Anyway,
back to
so we were back in the good old days. We'll probably come back to that because that's something I want to talk about.
Okay, we can do that.
But anyway, so we were sitting in the View. We had our breakfast. It was after PT.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so we were sitting down. We were having our breakfast, and we're on Vine. On the daily.
Oh, you have to.
Oh yeah. It's I mean, it's part of social interaction at this point. And we were watching some Vines, and I was scrolling through, and I saw some Star Wars Vines, which I was super thrilled about. And all of a sudden, lightsabers went up, lightsaber fight. When the lightsabers hit, it was.
Yep.
That is the first recorded bass boosted Vine. And then the second one was when Palpatine had his little lightning bolts come out of his fingers.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I could just hear it.
And from there, it fucking took off.
It's just so weird because, like, what is it about it that is funny? Like, there should be nothing funny about it. It's just amplifying. It's just amplifying sounds, and yet that is hilarious.
Amplifying the lower spectrum of sounds.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what it is, but our friend group, the what 6 of us that there are,
Right.
we'll just be like, we could be not saying anything, and we can just go.
Bust out laughing.
And you get a response. You get a laughing response out of that.
I have had legitimate, just like 5-minute conversations with people in our friend group, quoting nothing but vines and memes, and just making guttural bass boosted sounds, and we understand each other.
Oh yeah,
it's a whole other language.
It's like the get in. you just
I really wonder what percentage of people that listen to this are going to understand what we're saying.
0. Well, except for the 6 of us.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna be it.
Yeah.
So, if you guys don't know what Vine is or don't know what bass boosted Vine is, please look it up. Please, 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 please.
You owe
on,
it to yourself.
on YouTube. Yeah, you do. Anyways, I want to get back to the View.
Yeah, please do.
But actually, at first, I think we do need to say rest in peace, Vine.
Yeah. Honestly,
you will be missed.
Really, rest in peace.
Yeah.
You know, Vine brought me so much happiness and escape from the terribleness of my sophomore year. Sophomore year sucked. Like, it was just not good.
Oh yeah.
You know, all the pressures of ROTC and everything like that, and classwork and everything. But you know what? Damn it! For 2 hours every evening before I went to bed, I was able to escape into a world of dank memes and bass. And it just brought me so much happiness and joy. And then they took it away. Damn you, Twitter. You took it away. Come on. I've heard there's going to be a Vine 2. There's supposed to be a sequel at some point. Like, somebody was supposed to come out with a new one. I haven't seen it yet, and I don't know what's supposed to deal with that. But I heard that a creator was supposed to come back with another version. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna be easy to get, because look at Instagram has their 15-second videos, so it's like.
Well, now it's like now you can have whatever. I mean, I've posted like a 5-minute long video on Instagram.
Exactly. So it kind of like it took Vine and kind of made it almost unnecessary, like different platforms. The category became so saturated by other, Snapchat, Facebook, hell, YouTube. YouTube has stories.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure YouTube has stories now.
Yeah, they do.
Everybody jumped in on the train with the whole short video thing. So I guess I don't know. I don't know why Twitter got rid of
See,
Vine.
but do you think that YouTube did that based off of Vine or based off of Snapchat? Because Snapchat sounds like a viable option to 10-second be like, hey, guys, I just put up a new video. Come check it out. Swipe up for the link.
True. But, I mean, I don't know. You can't replicate what Vine had. Vine had basically 7 seconds on repeat for infinity of humor. Like, you can't replicate that. It was so great. You had to jam-pack all of your humor within 7 seconds. You didn't have anything but 7 seconds.
It had to be clean, no fat.
That's right.
Just straight, lean humor.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you had to work at it.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
And
I'm sure it took tons of time editing those videos.
Oh,
I'm sure.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, those people probably did that full time. I mean, like, actually, if you look up bass boosted Vines, look at how much is going into them, and it's insane. Just the sound mixing, which I know from a recording art standpoint is a lot.
Yeah.
B, the visuals. I have no idea how to do those, but the visuals are insane.
Yeah.
And where do they find the videos and the pictures?
Exactly.
I have no idea.
This was years ago too. I mean,
Yeah.
This was like what?
2015.
Yeah, like
That was
5
our
years ago?
sophomore year. Yeah.
Holy smokes! Like even then, like it was impressive. Like
Yeah,
what
that
they were
was
able to do.
Yeah, because we started in 2014. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that was 2015. It was our sophomore year. That's insane.
Time flies, man.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thanks, Jack Dorsey, for taking away the only thing that ever mattered in our lives.
It's all his fault. Anyway, you were talking about The View?
Yeah, I was talking about The View. No, I'm more pissed about Jack Dorsey. Anyways, I was talking about The View. Anyways, this is probably going to translate into college on a larger scheme of things. But, so, like we were saying, The View, each semester, it seemed like they got more. I don't even know what the right word is. Cucky about what they were doing.
That's probably. In what way? Like, elaborate. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, okay, you had to, so let's just say like freshman year, you had to like present your ID and you go through, but you couldn't let anyone in with you or whatever. And then there was like things where like you couldn't give your card to someone else.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
And then you couldn't have like people behind you. And then so our cafeteria was on the second floor of our student center. So people would just like would scan in and then throw their card off the fucking balcony and then just like hope that the right person caught it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the interesting thing about that, I know exactly what you mean. They like added more and more security every year, like trying to prevent it. But the thing is, in theory, right, you paid for it. Like you prepaid. It's like a debit card. Mm-hmm. You already put that money. The university has made their money off of you already. Who gives a shit?
The university.
Who goes and eats at your who cares? Like, it's just a money grabbing thing, honestly.
It is.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I will say this. Like, I overall had a very positive experience at St. Thomas. Like, I enjoyed the professors, especially. Like, great class size, in my opinion. Like, I was computer science major, and most of the professors that I had were great. And the facilities overall are pretty darn good. Like,
oh yeah, I mean
really,
yeah, they don't skimp out on the facilities.
There were a few things that they just really irked me. Like, and one of the biggest things was their dining facility and the view. You're right. They became Nazis about it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like now they have automated like TSA style.
Like yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah. When
you take yourselves way too seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. No one actually cares that much.
No.
And how much money did you spend? B, no one actually cares. C, it's our money. We already paid for it. So can't we just like
we own like those meals? Like, we can give them to whoever we want.
Yeah. Well,
you would think.
Well, then, do we own the meals if we can't give them to whoever we want?
Oh, apparently not.
No, we don't. No. But then when Marcus sent me the Snapchat, I was like, "Is there like a TSA pre-check line? Like, like you're already like verified to like go through that or something?"
Yeah, right. Can you get the view pre-checked?
Is there like a security clearance you can go through to skip that or something? Yeah, I got top view clearance.
You're like first class.
Yeah.
You get like different lanes for different college students. You got your usual general, and then you got your first class and TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
And everything.
Or just break it up like freshmen who don't know what they're doing. Sophomore kind of have a little bit of experience. Juniors who are like into it now, and then seniors that are like, all right, just fucking give them effort.
And then you got super seniors who are just.
Oh yeah.
That was a terrible time.
I guess I technically was a super senior for half a semester.
Yeah.
Or for a semester.
Technically, yeah, sure. Yeah, you did.
4.5 years.
That's fine.
That's because I only took a semester off, but
Hey, it's better than 5. 5 is a bad idea, I'm telling you.
Yeah, 5's
if you can avoid it,
it's not great.
Uh-oh, here they come.
Here they go. The American Psycho
American
references
Psycho, folks.
have started.
Here we go.
All right, we're getting into it now. But yeah, I think a lot of the problems that you were talking about and a lot of the positive things that you're talking about, those are the same things I had. The professors were amazing, outstanding. Let me cycle back. The professors I had for my degree, so I was economics. All the econ professors that were in the economics department, great.
Oh yeah, outstanding.
Professors outside, it's
those core classes.
This is interesting. The core classes, the one that you all have, everyone has to take, they suck.
Oh yeah, I had very few that I really thoroughly enjoyed. Honestly, like it was just a pain in my ass.
I'm trying to think of one professor that I liked in my core classes. Yeah, no, that's not. I can't think of any. But literally, I don't know if I told you about this story when I chose to be econ. I was just like general business major going into college, and I took my first econ course first semester sophomore year. I was in principles of macroeconomics for 1 week. I was like, all right, I'm changing my major to this.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember macro. That was the class we all had to take as like freshmen, or was it my thing of microeconomics? I don't know. I
Well,
remember I took
principles
only
of
one
you probably took
economics class.
You probably took macro.
and that was probably it. I think that was my
Probably took-
fall of my freshman year.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I mean, I'm going to quote my dad here. It's kind of all the same.
Yeah.
But you probably took macro just to get
I
like
think you're right.
the broader view of,
Yes.
you know.
Expand my
Although
horizons.
one of my favorite economics professors, she was saying that macro is micro expanded, which is true, but also so if you learn like the principles of micro and microeconomic theory, you just scale it up
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
basically macro.
I got you.
I mean, there's some things that are there's like the theory of money and stuff like that, and like the different like unemployment rates. Like there's like 3 or 4 different unemployment rates that's like classified as macro.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I'm with you.
but I mean, it doesn't really. I'm getting really technical here, but it doesn't really. I mean, I love micro, and I guess macro is probably my least favorite form, just because of I didn't see the benefit of it. Especially macro theory, it was very much. And the thing about these theory classes, micro theory was very math heavy, calculus based. Macro theory just seemed to be like, okay, well, this is what one person came up with an equation for, so then we're going to do our calculus on this equation. It's like, well, why are we doing this equation first though? Like there was never really like an explanation about it. Whether it's like micro theory, it was like, all right, here's all the things we have, here's our constraints, let's find out the optimal solution, go.
Gotcha.
And it was like, use whatever equation or whatever mathematical tools you have or calculus tools you have to solve it. And
Right.
that to me made more sense, but I think it's just more of a me thing. And I liked my micro theory professor more than my macro theory. So
Gotcha.
I mean,
Yeah.
but anyways, as I was saying, I think a larger part of what you were saying, what you didn't like, is the administrative part of college.
Yeah, that's true.
All the rules,
Yep.
all the red tape or the purple
Yep.
tape for us, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think. Do you think that would be different so we went to the University of St. Thomas, which is a private Catholic college.
Yeah, Catholic, yep.
I think it's the biggest private college in Minnesota.
It would have to be. I don't
I'm pretty
know
sure.
of any other ones. St. John's isn't as big.
Well, it definitely isn't, because St. John's is one school and St. Ben's is another.
Oh,
and
yeah.
those are
Okay.
boy and girl respectively. So
Yeah.
it's definitely not.
Screw St. John's.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah. Sorry, Andrew, if you're listening to this, but screw St.
Go
John's.
Tommies.
Yeah, Tommy's kicked your ass in the past few years, so sorry.
Anyway.
Anyways, but yeah, do you think that that's a problem? Like, do you think that the administrative part versus, or in comparison with I don't know what the opposite of administrative is, the educational, we'll call it.
Oh, yeah.
So like the administrative, which is basically like the rules and the regulations of the college, versus the just what you're going to college for, which is to like learn and improve upon your skills. Do you think that would be different at a state school, even though we never went to a state school? What are your opinions?
Ooh, that's a good
Or what are your thoughts? Not even opinions. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, like, I think that there's a much larger, I mean, this is just all from my own perspective, but I think there's just a larger pool to pull from for state schools. And I would imagine that, and again, this is not backed up by any sort of like actual data, but I would imagine that, like, you know, public school, I call them public schools, but state schools, they've got to be making pretty decent money in comparison to private schools. Am I right in that, or am I all the way around?
Well, their tuition is significantly less.
And that is true.
It's probably half of what we paid. U of M is probably half of what you pay for St. Thomas.
But how much like does that actually turn into higher wages for the professors? Like, do professors fight over a private college versus going to like a state school?
I probably not. Probably what professors are more concerned of is getting tenure.
Yeah, that's true.
In any, I don't know if. I don't know. You know what? My guess, and this is just me guessing, obviously, because I just said my guess. If you didn't figure that out, is that I would assume that the tenure for state schools is a lot higher or better rates because, you know, you hear of like, oh, the U of M medical team, the University of Oregon, blah, 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 or the economists from, you know, the University of Miami, you know.
Yeah, they handle things on a much wider scale.
No one has heard of the University of St. Thomas.
Yeah.
No matter how big we are.
It's true. Yeah.
You know.
I think that the biggest thing that St. Thomas does is probably like law, maybe?
Law
school. Engineering is just getting going.
Engineering.
It was just getting going when we were there.
You guys were at like the front of the wave.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, I mean, their big thing was law forever. And so,
I think my cousin is actually at their law school right now.
Oh.
And he went to, oh God, where'd he go? Where'd he get his undergrad? Duke, I think. Duke.
Politics.
That was another American Psycho reference for those of you who have never seen the movie. I'm going to come up with a little homework for you listeners after this is all done, because these are things that we're referencing that you need to watch.
Yeah, seriously. American Psycho. If nothing else, like
American Psycho.
You might not find it as funny, perhaps, as we do, but just in terms of like a cultural film commenting on what the essence of like society was in the 80s, you know, with the yuppies and everything like that. Like the culture,
the cocaine craze within Wall Street.
Like, it's just amazing, honestly. It is hilarious. Honestly, if you understand, if you get it and you think it's funny, it's hilarious.
Yeah, if you have a sense of humor, it's hilarious. Yeah.
But anyway, you know, to answer your question, honestly, like about administrative versus educational, like the two sides of things. I can't really speak towards state schools. I have no idea. I haven't gone to a state school in any level my entire life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Paul, me neither.
Oh, wow. Yeah, all the way through.
Wow.
You know, wow. So, there's Owen Wilson there.
I was thinking of The Vine.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay,
thank you.
Yeah, I'm with
okay,
you.
yep.
I'm with you there. But
yeah. Anyways,
this is how it goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just you ever notice how like sometimes you just get professors that are so cool. You know what makes them really cool is that they kind of go against the grain of the administration and kind of like what the university sets forth as like standard practice. Like the ones that are kind of like the outliers, like a little bit weird. You know, they don't mind dropping a few swears during class.
Yeah.
You know, you know, they don't care. Those are the ones that you find the most real. And
yeah.
They're usually the ones who actually care most about their stuff.
About what they're teaching.
Yeah.
Because they don't give a shit about what the administration, you have to like have like
PC.
Yeah. You don't have to like.
I know what you mean.
Yes. So
I feel like St. Thomas gets in the way sometimes. Like,
so I will tell you two opposite scenarios. So one professor I had, economics. So this is for, a 300. The first one I'm going to tell you is for a 300 econ. So it's macro theory. And then the next one I'm going to tell you is, I think, for my capstone. Did you ever have a capstone?
No.
Okay. Because a bunch of the business kids had capstones, whatever the fuck that is. And I was like, what's a capstone?
It's like a final project.
It's like a final project. And like, oh, well, everyone who goes to college has a capstone. I'm like, no,
not really.
Not
everybody.
I don't think they do, But I was like, all right. So I guess like this was like the most intense or the most realistic class or the one that puts you in the most realistic situations anyways. So the first class was macro theory, and first day my professor goes, okay, well, here's my name and here's the things that we're going to do. And up until this point, I had known economists to be very matter of fact, data driven.
Kind of boring.
No, I mean, it depends. I think they're interesting.
Matter of perspective, I suppose. Yeah. Kind of.
Probably from the outside, yes, I would say. Very data driven. If it hasn't been researched, it doesn't exist. Then show me something that's real, whatever, anything like that. And this, I mean, he has his PhD and everything, and I forget where he got his PhD from. Maybe Oregon, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. And he goes, oh yeah, this is what we're gonna learn, and this is probably the thing that just turned me off of macro theory. Is he goes, oh, and then whatever pronouns you want to be called.
Oh boy.
Well, let me know what they are.
That's how you start off on the wrong foot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right. And then conversely, in my 400, this is managerial economics, so very sophisticated. Very,
of course, yeah. Sounds very fancy. Fancy.
Yeah. Anyways, so the whole time, she didn't do anything like that, and she didn't do anything the opposite of that. But she was poking fun at the administration the whole time. So basically, and this is funny. So we have like our econ club or whatever, and we could all. It's like, so the school receives a can of, because we were a Pepsi campus, which also, okay, actually, all of the bullshit things that the administration has done, that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Being a Pepsi campus.
I just wanted my Coke Zero.
Yeah. Give me my Coke Zero, okay? And Pepsi tastes like battery acid.
Yeah.
That was mixed with Coke.
Yeah. Exactly.
A cola. Anyways. And so she goes, all right. Or no, so she was talking in class one day, and she was talking about like buying like sodas for the econ club meeting or whatever. And she goes, what's ridiculous is that our school buys cans at 25 cents a piece or whatever, or something low like that. But the college makes the clubs buy the cans at $1 a piece. And the money for the clubs is coming from the goddamn school.
Amazing, isn't it?
I mean, what the fuck?
That doesn't make it. Oh,
stonks.
Yep, stonks.
So, like, at least there's some, like, glimmer of hope where it's like, all right, at least some of the professors are true to their craft, and they say, okay.
They see through the bullshit.
Yes, exactly. Here's what it.
They're self-aware enough.
Yeah, they're self-aware, and that's all you want in a professor is someone that just A, knows what they're talking about, B, has the guts to talk against something that's happening that doesn't align with what they're teaching. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how it is, and I don't know what social issues you get into in comp sci, but at least in econ, you get into a few of them every once in a while. Wage rates and people who earn more or don't earn more.
Well, honestly, like we didn't have much in computer science because all we do is just fucking code, just coding. That's all it is. There ain't much to say anything controversial, but you are required at the University of St. Thomas to take, as a computer science major, you have to take a class in communication as a part of your major requirement. I'm pretty sure they put that in there because they know that computer science people just can't talk to each other.
So like public speaking? Is that what you took?
I think one of them was like communication in the workplace, and the other one was public speaking. Like you had a choice.
I think everyone has to take a Kojo.
Is it? Yeah. So
I took one.
I thought that was. There might be another. I can't remember. I thought there was another one for computer science that you also had to take.
Just because you guys are
just because
secluded.
We're secluded nerds that just sit in the glow of our computers and stuff.
Eating your Doritos and drinking your Mountain Dew.
Nom, exactly. So honestly, and then when I took my first class, I knew I wanted it, like to take more. So I ended up minoring in communications. And journalism. Yeah.
One of my friends did, and I forgot who it
Yeah,
was.
it was me. Yes, I loved it, honestly. So, and it's honestly, if it weren't for my scholarship forcing me to take a technical class, I probably would have majored in communications and journalism or business or something like that.
Holy shit! So
But
you would have gone to work for BuzzFeed?
I would rather drag my naked ass across a lawn of sharded glass than work for BuzzFeed.
Amen.
I'm sorry. Like, I just don't get. That's a whole nother can of worms, man. I BuzzFeed. I do no.
What about Vox?
It's all terrible. Honestly. But what was I saying? Communications class. Yeah. As I progressed through the communications classes, honestly, I found that sometimes the topics got more and more controversial. And I was always going to be the one that I knew going into it. I was going to be the one who was outnumbered compared to everyone else, especially at this university. Like, if the professor brought up anything that was remotely, politically correct or anything that would be
triggering,
quote unquote, I kind of had to hold my tongue. Like, maybe I should have let it loose more. Like, just stood up for myself. But being in ROTC and sometimes being in uniform once a week, class, I was like, I'm not really here to make a scene, and then everybody sees my opinion
in
and
uniform.
thinks of the U.S. Air Force ROTC, and I don't want that. So I usually just kept all my opinions to myself or just nodded along.
Yeah, even after so like for, I think that was second semester sophomore year, I got out of ROTC. And even then I was like, these people have seen me in uniform. Even then I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
Oh. And then, of course, the time when I got busted with a rifle. Did I tell you about that?
Oh, God.
Or do you know about that?
If it's the story I'm thinking of, like where someone, am I thinking of like where the professor like called something about?
Someone called something. I was in uniform, walking across campus with my, and this is in air quotes, people, rifle. Our rifle is made out of wood, metal, and plastic, and it does not fire. There's no way to load it. There is no way to shoot it.
It's a drill and ceremonies rifle.
It's a ceremony rifle.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I was walking across campus in uniform, as we usually do.
Yeah, it's nothing
and
new
someone, and we practice once a week for the past since St. Thomas was founded as a military academy.
That's right.
Since like 1901.
Yeah, way back when.
So this has been happening since 1901, and someone called campus security on me. And I made it to the detachment without anyone even batting an eye, anything. No one even saw. I passed people on.
People know generally.
Yeah. Well,
most people.
Yeah, and so then I made it to the detachment, and all of a sudden public safety was knocking on the door, and they're like, "Were you walking with this?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Well, we need to see it." I'm like, "Okay, here you go." And they're like trying to like figure out how to load it. I'm like, "You can't fire it. It's not real. It's a replica. It's ceremonial.
It's really solid. Like there's
yeah,
no
it's
actual
solid.
barrel or anything. Like it's just
no gun is that heavy unless if it's like a Barrett 50
not
cal.
to mention it looks old. Like it's just the whole thing is just awkward.
It was so stupid.
Like, why would you even think?
But someone who didn't fucking know what they were talking about called security on me, and I was I was pissed for one.
I don't blame you.
And everyone else in the Air Force detachment was pissed. Colonel Musselman was pissed.
Colonel,
I remember.
Chuck Muscles.
I remember. So that was when Mark and Sam were detachment commander and vice commander.
Yeah.
And Mark and I were good friends. Mark was there the whole time, and he got in between me and public safety. He's like, "What are you guys doing? Like, what's going on?" And then Sam was in their face too. And then I was like, "I don't know what to do." I was just a sophomore,
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't know what to do," blah, blah, blah. And I was like, "Should we go to Colonel Musselman? Should we not? Blah, blah, blah." And he goes, "All right, well, we'll just tell him." And we told Colonel Musselman, and he had like the best like movie like moment. He just leaped out of his chair. He's like, "All right, we're all going." So we like marched down there. It was me, Mark, Sam, and Colonel Musselman. And Colonel Musselman is just leading the pack. He's like, all right, well, this is complete fucking bullshit, guys. Come on. Like, give the kid
Use your brain.
his fucking plastic gun back.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
so that he can drill like we've always done for the past 100 goddamn years. Anyways,
Man, think about how many people you are triggering through this podcast.
I know. Dude, I probably lost half my listeners.
Oh, it's terrible.
Sorry, guys.
You know, years from now, they're going to trudge this up when you're a big YouTube famous person
No.
on podcasts.
I hope I'm not YouTube famous.
Look what Jonathan Dolezal used to say back in the day.
Well, you know, a lot of people
That's
are
right.
YouTube famous with being triggering. So,
Like a beauty pie.
yeah. Or I was thinking Steven Crowder. but,
Oh,
you know.
that's true.
I'm not going to compare myself to Steven Crowder, but
What a legend, though.
yeah.
I love that guy.
Anyways, but I was saying is that I think the point I was making is that there's a huge difference between what's happening and what someone's idiot perception is of you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, and then public safety. You know what they told me? They said, "Well, we've had reports of someone walking on campus with an actual live weapon." I'm like,
What?
who?
What?
And how the fuck was he not like shot on site?
Yeah. I don't remember anything like that
Like,
being reported.
Yeah.
That'd
And
be huge.
and Joe and Zach worked public safety, and they never told me anything about that, which
Yeah, I
I
think they
feel
were
like they
just
would have.
BS and you is what they were doing.
They're like, well, he was walking on campus with a loaded rifle. I was like, was he in uniform? Well, he was wearing camouflage.
God.
Okay,
Just
so
off yourself.
can you answer the question, please? Oh, but yeah. Anyways, the point of that is that there's a huge, huge, huge difference between someone's perception of you versus what you're actually doing and minding your own goddamn business.
True. Very true.
And that's going to happen anywhere, whether you're at a public university, whether you're at a private university, whether you're in your own goddamn apartment. You know, perception is reality.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel like they even said that at during the like Air Force thingies.
Probably.
I
Honestly.
feel like I
Would
heard
be.
Colonel Musselman. He probably said that to me after that happened too.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and then when you were talking about like how sophomore year was a hell of a year, yeah, that was one of the nail. Oh, I remember what it was. I remember why I brought the story up. It was because you're talking about like how you don't want to say these things when you're in uniform to have that thing, fucking like on the Air Force, whatever. And then after that happened, I went into Mark's office and I was like, fuck, man, I completely fucked up. I was so down on myself. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't mean to do this to the detachment, to the Air Force. You know, I had like all of this weight on me. And he's like, dude, no one here that's in the Air Force cares. We're going to support you. And,
Absolutely.
And he said something along the lines, I'm not paraphrasing, this was a while ago, but he basically said something along the lines of like, fuck those guys. Like, those aren't the people who you should
Sounds
be
like
worried
him.
about. Yeah. Like, you should be worried about what you think and what your family thinks, what your friends think about you. Like, all right, yeah, I guess so.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. But then after that, you know, fucking went to Canada and came back and wasn't in the Air Force anymore.
And the rest is history.
Yep.
And here we
And
are.
that's all we're going to talk about that tonight, folks. Actually, no, Marcus, we had a great time in Canada. Thanks, bud. Never drinking Bacardi again.
There you go. Oh man. You know, switching gears a little bit. Hey, how's that lion diet going now?
Oh.
I had listened to your first podcast. And I
Yes.
heard all about it. How's it going now?
so-
It's like 2 months now, isn't it?
2 months,
Yeah.
minus some days because I was in Hawaii
Mm-hmm.
and I had some crab and
Ah.
fish and shrimp and seafood stuff out there. And unfortunately, I started drinking in Hawaii.
Uh-oh.
Yep. And I told you this earlier, but I'm going to tell the listeners. The first sip, I knew I was done for. I was like, are you kidding me?
The hooks were
Yep.
in.
Mm-hmm. Hook, line, sinker. I think that's how the expression goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that was in. And it was game over at that point because I was like, all right. I will tell you, the best parts about drinking are when you're doing it. The worst parts about drinking is when you aren't doing it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Because after you're done drinking, it sucks.
Yeah.
And when you are drinking, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's so fun. It's so
We're drinking
fun
right now.
Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah. So for Hawaii and for my birthday, I decided since I drink, I actually told Corey this. I said, if I can go through Hawaii and not drink, I can go through my birthday and not drink. I drink in Hawaii, so I guess I can't go through my birthday and not drink.
Well, hey.
Yep. So logically, I have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pure. It's good.
But
logic.
yeah, but as of right now, the only thing I'm doing up until the 29th is the only difference I'm doing is having alcohol at a responsible rate.
Yeah.
Mother.
So like, what
listening.
do you like physiologically? Like, what do you feel like being 2 months on just eating meat, salt, and water?
Honestly,
Like,
right now,
It sounds batshit insane. Honestly,
it is.
Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like I've heard of like the most extreme keto diets out there, and people going to like just grams of carbs a day to do extreme like weight loss and stuff. But I don't think I'd ever heard of anyone literally just eating like steaks with salt and water.
Yeah. It was. I'll tell you what I felt the first month and a half, because that's the most that I've done it. So I did it 40 days basically, which is kind of biblically significant.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is weird that I went 40 days.
It works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, the Lord does. So I did it. The probably significant fat loss. And I wasn't fat to begin with. I know. And I've had people come to me like, well, you don't need to lose any weight. I don't know. But I always believe that we can always look better.
Oh, God.
Be thinner.
Yes.
That's another American Psycho reference for you guys right there. Anyways, and honestly, that is 5% of why. Literally, that line is 5% of why I want to do this, is because I truly do believe in that statement. We can always be better. We can always be thinner.
You know, honestly, like, the thing about that is you're going to get a lot of people who are like, oh, you're shaming people. Like, people are good as the way they are. Like, why do you always have to be better? Like,
I'm not good the way I am.
Well, the thing is, I once heard someone, I can't remember for the life of me where I heard it, but someone once said, as soon as you accept the fact that you're great at something, that's when you stop being great.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's complacency.
Exactly. The greatness that people, when we think of someone who's great, all right, it's because they're constantly striving to be better. Like, as soon as you accept the fact, like, oh, I've hit my peak, I've reached my goal, I guess I'm done now, you stop being great. Because that constant searching to be better, which apparently must be the motivation for you to keep
well,
at this diet.
honestly, three people come to mind. And I'm going to talk about Mark again. And Mark, if you're listening, I don't even know where he is right now. He's somewhere though. He's
flying KC 135.
He's on. Is he on deployment right now?
He might be.
I think he is. I know he's not at home.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I think he is deployed.
Anyways, Mark, if you're listening, during Black Nights, which is our rifle drill team. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to write this down because I will. I'm not gonna do that. Never mind. Anyways, sorry. I just had like 5 thoughts at a time in like 1 second. Anyways, so Mark, one of his things during our Black Nights thing was like complacency kills. And he would hammer that into us every single morning. Like that would, like he would say complacency and we would have to yell kills back. Like when we were doing push-ups, whenever
joint training, we went through that stuff.
Yeah. Did you guys do that like on your own as Arnie's, or was that just like a Black Nights?
No, that was just we had
or a
Mark
Sexton
as
thing,
like guest trainer for our things, and he made us shout it.
Yeah, complacency kills. Staying the same. It's dramatic to say that it will kill you, but it's better to act as though it will.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah, because if you want to, if your goal is to stay the same, then you're going to be like, okay, well, if I do the same thing over and over again, I'll be fine. Which is also isn't that kind of half of the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's half of it. But anyways, complacency kills. That's the first thing. So that's Mark. the second thing is Jordan Peterson. This one, and this is I'll show you the sketch I have later. But there's a tattoo I want to get of a phoenix. And Jordan Peterson talks about the phoenix as it's basically it's a symbol of death and rebirth, and you're constantly going through that process. You're constantly burning the things off that make you weak. And who knows how good you can be if you continually do that. And down the line to the end of how good you can be is the archetypal figure of Christ, you know? So it's like, that's the best that human beings could ever be, because he was also God at the same time. And so that's kind of like, you need to go through those transformations. You need to cut down. And so it's interesting because it's half an elimination diet for me and half let's see how far I can go with this. And so I had already done keto, you know, no carbs, a few veggies, meat, cheese, dairy, butter. I was like, all right, well, how far can we go? How much more can we cut off of what's necessary? And then the more research I would do, all right, well, probably shouldn't have dairy. Okay. I stopped having dairy, black coffee, you know, stuff like that. Okay, well, probably vegetables. There's some evidence. If you want me to, I can get into it. But there's some evidence to suggest that I'm not saying that a meat and veggies diet is bad for you. I'm saying that a meat diet looks to be that it is better for you than meat and veggies.
Okay.
I sound like a fucking crazy person right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
And so I was like, all right, okay. And then I was like, all right, just animal products. What about animal products? Dairy, for whatever reason, and I talked to my dad about this, people have a dairy allergy. You know, they're lactose intolerant.
Yep.
You know, I've never heard of anyone allergic to beef. Never.
That's a good point.
Never heard of anyone allergic to pork. Never. Nor chicken.
I never thought of it that way. That's a good point.
So it's like, well, and then kind of along with Jordan Peterson, his daughter, Michaela Peterson, she was saying, oh my God, I just had a thought and I just completely lost me. She was saying that her theory is that people are kind of born more susceptible to these autoimmune diseases. So skin conditions such as eczema, even acne, arthritis, depression is even linked to autoimmune disorders. People are born on a spectrum of vulnerability to those things. I am probably on the lower spectrum of vulnerability because I don't think I've really had eczema. I've never been diagnosed with eczema. I mean, my acne I don't really have any anymore now that I'm on this diet. I wake up in the morning not wanting to jump off of a fucking bridge.
That helps.
Yeah, that does help. And so, but I've never had like arthritis. A lot of people have like these insane joint health problems. Like she had her ankle and hip replaced by the time she was 16. Like that's insane.
Wow.
Yeah. And so those problems were fixed when she went on this lion diet, this carnivore diet. And so then from there, so now we're down to we cut out veggies, we cut out dairy. So is beef, pork, and chicken. Anyone who watches Mulan will understand that reference. You don't get it, do you?
You know, I watched Mulan a long time ago.
Okay, well, it's on Disney Plus. So, anyways, I'm the only one gonna be laughing right now. That was a good joke.
He's laughing at himself.
Okay. Anyways, so beef, pork, chicken. Anyways, and I was like, all right, is there anything else we can do? Turns out there is. Chicken is very high in protein, very low in fat.
Mm-hmm. True.
Oh, actually, before that, beef, pork, chicken, seafood.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I have heard of people being allergic to shellfish.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's
Mhm.
actually a pretty common thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gout is a common, I'll just say thing that goes along with eating those like seafood, stuff like
Mhm.
that. I know people can get gout from that for whatever reason. I don't know how. I just know that my grandma had it and she would eat a lot of seafood. And then, so basically beef, pork, chicken, seafood. After I learned that there's still things that you could be allergic to on seafood, cut that out. Going off of the theory that there's a spectrum of vulnerability for these autoimmune diseases. And then it's your job, or it's my job to cut those things out as I see fit. And then chicken, which chicken is good for you. I will say that chicken is very good for you. However, chicken on a high volume is not good for you because there's low fat in chicken. Fat is probably the most important macronutrient that there is it just simply is. It's the most important, especially for your brain.
Mhm.
If you want to get big, I mean, increase your protein intake. You can add some chicken in there. I don't. I mean, beef just tastes better.
A good juicy steak.
Yeah. I mean, I will eat chicken wings with salt. Maybe once every 2 weeks.
Sure.
Something like that,
Once in a while.
Yeah, like if the game's on or whatever. Yeah. But so that's why I don't eat as much chicken. I rarely have chicken. And actually on the last podcast I did re-listen to it, and Michael asked me like if it like I don't eat like pepper or something like that, and he asked me if it was like a problem because it was a vegetable and if I have anything against vegetables. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I do.
There you go.
I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to go back and say, yeah, I do, because and I did say this on there, and I think it does hold true, is that peppers aren't spicy because they want you to eat them. They're spicy because it's a defense mechanism. And actually, so I'm going to completely butcher this. I'm going to try and get through it as best as I can. But also, as a defense mechanism, plants have, over time, been able to create properties in themselves that produce an insulin response in humans, or in animals, I should say. And insulin is the thing that builds fat, basically. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So that's it. That's how I narrowed it down to, okay, I do think that this lion diet is probably the best way to go. Based off of, what Michaela Peterson says about her theory about diets, and her theory about, the vulnerability to these autoimmune diseases and how people are born with a predisposition, whether it's highly likely or highly unlikely.
Well, that's interesting because, I have never been one to like do diets. Like I might start one for like a week, but then I don't know why. I just kind of like stopped. I just don't really care much anymore.
It's because it's a diet.
Yeah, exactly.
So whenever I go out, of course, this sucks now because it's my birthday and I just eat whatever. Okay, actually, for my birthday, my living it up is eating keto.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I still don't have bread. I still don't have pasta or rice or whatever the hell I don't have that. I just have like tonight we had Chipotle.
Yeah.
I haven't had Chipotle since 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that was new. So, but even then I still ate beef, a lot of beef, some salsa. And this is also, I talked about on the last podcast. I love spicy food. I love it. It tastes so good.
It is. Yeah.
you know, but it sucks because spicy going in is spicy going out. Yep.
That's right.
There we go. That should be the new hashtag.
Yeah, there you go. Man. But I just, because I did actually cut out milk about 2.5 weeks ago. Growing up, I drank so much damn milk. Even up to now, like until 2.5 weeks ago, I still would drink up to a gallon a week of milk.
That's a lot.
It is a ton. And I gave up drinking regular soda like a long time ago. And so what kind of filled the void of that would be milk, which I don't think is as bad as regular Coca-Cola, but it's bad in its own way, like to drink a lot of it.
It's interesting when you start cutting out, so like, let's say you're on the standard American diet. Let's say you start cutting out let's say you stop eating French fries. Like that's the only thing you stop eating. Okay. After that's gone from your hierarchy of worst to greatest foods that you eat, something is going to fill that void of the worst food. So then it's pizza. So then it's pasta. And then it's rice. And then when all those are gone, then there's still going to be the worst food for you that you consume. And then that's kind of it. And it's, yes, it is. And this is something that I get kind of frustrated with, because people are like, well, what if I don't eat this and this and this, but I'm still healthy? It's like, yeah, you are. If you're not eating carbs, great. If you're not eating I think sugar is the worst thing in the world for you. Stop eating sugar. Yeah. Stop consuming sugar. Stop it. Fucking cut it out.
Yeah.
After that, then like I said, there will be something bad to replace it as the worst food, like just because that's just how it works. You're going to have a worst something that you do. You're going to have a worst food that you eat. And then it's going to be bread or cheese or pasta or whatever you have. And so this diet that I'm doing, I don't think there's a worst food that I have. I think it's all, I think now it's down to all good for me, finally.
Boiled it down to its simplest denominator.
Well, and that's why it's so, that's beef, pork, salt, water.
There's no room for error. Like, if you're eating anything else, you're wrong.
Yeah.
There's no like gray area. Well, what if I eat this? Is it really that bad for me? As soon as you start doing that, then you've like started slipping down the slope, which is, something you got to like watch out for. And it sounds like with your diet, then you really get to like, I was listening to your other podcast and you were kind of talking about this, and it's fascinating because I've honestly thought about trying it for a little bit. I mean, my issue right now is
1 month.
Yeah, I want to try it for a month. The only issue is that I have been in a situation where it's not easy to just completely restrict my diet right now. But honestly, once I moved to Oklahoma and I'm on my own doing my own thing and got my own regulated schedule every day, like I think that's a big thing. Is like, if you really want to change something in your life, a change of setting and scenery and really kind of helps a lot.
That's why I don't like thinking about it as a diet, because a diet has a very temporary connotation to it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, I'm going to try this for a month. And then after that, then who knows? Well, I'll just go back to how I eat.
Yeah.
But if you think about it as like with your move, with your change of lifestyle, and like, all right, of all these things that are going to change, if 20 things are changing, why not make it 21?
Yeah, exactly.
Why not change how I eat? And you don't have to start lion diet right away. That's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing keto for 2 years before I did this.
Kind of working your way in.
Yeah. And oddly enough, I randomly chose to do this about halfway through December. I was like, what if I did the lion diet? I was like, okay, I'll do it.
There you go.
Yeah. And it's easy for me because I never, like when we were just at Chipotle, I never liked the Spanish rice. I never liked beans. I always hated veggies. I never really liked dessert, like cake and stuff. It's fine.
Yeah, nothing
like,
to write home about.
I guess I like candy would probably be like, if I were to have something sugary, it'd be candy. But I never liked desserts,
Sure.
I guess the one dessert that that I absolutely love is my mom's Republican cake.
Republican cake.
Yes.
Tell me more.
It's think of the best thing you've ever eaten and multiply it by 10.
Oh.
It's amazing.
Wow.
It's like a pudding-based cake, so it's super dense and super moist.
Ooh. Yeah.
And it's got like this like Cool Whip and like butter and sugar frosting on it, and you sprinkle little Heath bits on it.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
I have no idea why it's called.
Wow.
I have no idea why it's called Republican cake. No idea why. Probably because it's so goddamn good.
That's right. That is right. It's all that is right and good in the world. That's man. Speaking of which, speaking of Republican and politics, not to switch gears on you a little bit, but how about the fact that Bernie Sanders could very well be the Democratic nominee?
I hope so. I'll tell you why. Because I don't want Hillary Clinton 2.0 versus Donald Trump. We've already seen that matchup. We've already seen the debates. We already see what happens. I don't want to see that again. That was like if Elizabeth Warren were to go up against Donald Trump, that would be like the second time the Patriots met the Giants for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You just know that's
know what's going to happen.
You just know it's like, all right, we've seen this before.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though they were undefeated. I'm not saying that Elizabeth Warren would win by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
But you know their record. You know that, they're going to be coming in with this blue wave bullshit. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be, we're going to take, like, no, you're not. Because I'll tell you what, the last person that did it had way more swing with the DNC. She had people under her thumb.
Yeah.
And under,
yeah.
And.
Like, it doesn't concern you at all, the fact that, like, we are at a point right now, and, like, I know Ben Shapiro made a point about this, like, and he always says this when it comes to, like, Bernie Sanders and, like, the whole nominee process, and he makes a really good point, in my opinion, that, like, it doesn't, like, almost scare you, the fact that, like, the face of the Democratic Party. Okay, the Democratic Party used to have John F. Kennedy, right? Like,
which was pretty right wing,
right? But like, that's who used to, like, kind of the people who used to be the face of the Democratic Party. Now you shifted into this world where people like Bernie Sanders, supported by like AOC and the Squad, all right,
yeah,
about to be the nominee for the possibility of the president of the United States, like. That's just wild to me.
Yeah,
honestly. I don't think Bernie has a chance in hell.
No, I'll tell you why it doesn't scare me is for two reasons. One is their logic is unsustainable. You cannot continue down the road that they're going.
You think there's gonna be some like resurgence of like the old style of
not even that, but they're gonna find holes in their own logic at some point. At some point down the road.
Yeah.
Because at some point, someone is going to need to be the victimhood winner and the victimhood loser. And they're going to get so subdivided within their own categories, it's going to implode on themselves. They cannot continue to exist sanely along these extremes that they are doing. It cannot. It just can't happen. And I'm not saying that it can't happen as though, like, we can't let it happen. It physically cannot happen because... This is one of my favorite Jordan Peterson lo-fi songs is "You're Oppressed."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
All this
because, and he says, and he's like, all right, well, I'm a black woman. Well, I'm a black woman that has 2 children. Well, I'm a black woman that has 2 children that has no father. Well, I'm a black woman that has 2 children that has no father that has a son that's disabled. Well, I'm a black woman that has 2 children that has no father that has a son that's disabled. That has a daughter that's Asian,
Yeah, they just keep stacking
and
competing against each other.
Yeah, and then you get all these, and then this is the best part. You get the spectrum of genders, the undefinable, the unrankable spectrum. Who has it worse? Is it pansexuals? Is it asexuals? Is it bisexuals? Is it homosexuals?
Yeah.
Who
transsexuals?
is it? Transsexuals?
You can't.
Yeah.
It's not quantifiable.
Is that a gender? Is transsexual a gender, or is that an orientation? You know, because pansexual is an orientation, but transsexual is a gender. Why is that? If you're transsexual, wouldn't that make you sexually attracted to trans people?
I can't even follow the logic. Honestly.
See?
It's impossible.
Exactly. So that's the first reason I'm not too worried about it, is because their flow of logic, if you keep on going down this road that they're going, it's unsustainable. The second is that the Supreme Court justices have already been picked.
Yeah, it's true. Good point.
And they're going to uphold any constitutional amendment that is made before or during or after Trump's term.
Mm-hmm.
And unless if a few of them shoot themselves in the back of the head twice accidentally for whatever stupid reason, you know, or hang themselves in a prison cell even though that there's supposed to be guards watching them.
Weird.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Don't get Clinton. Watch out.
Yeah. You know, so that's why I am concerned that the Democratic Party would put forward someone as, I don't want to say controversial because it's not really controversial at this point because it's kind of the social norm, but someone as far left leaning as that. Yes,
Yeah, it's true.
I'm
It's really weird.
disturbed. Am I worried? I don't really think he has a chance. I would love to see. I can't wait to see the debates between whoever is nominated
That's
and Trump.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyone that he goes up against is just going to be entertainment.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It is, yeah. It's basically going to be like watching like the gladiators in the Roman Colosseum.
Yeah.
Just slaughtering people and the crowd's going nuts.
Are you not entertained?
You know it. We know it. We all know it.
I am the best gladiator.
I'm the best gladiator. You know, Marcus Aurelius said to me one day.
He thinks he's great, but he's not.
He's not that great. Yeah, I think so. Those are why I'm not concerned as much.
How much time we got left?
We got 20 minutes. About.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got some good time now. Yeah. So I mean, I would love to see, like I said, I don't want to see the Patriots and the Giants in the Super Bowl again. You know, I want to see Bernie in there. I want to see I want to see Joe Biden in there.
The corpse.
I am rooting.
The Walking Dead.
I am a
himself.
Biden boy. Okay.
Oh, who are you?
I'm a Biden boy.
That man, honestly, I feel like he has early onset dementia at this point. Like Steven Crowder did a whole podcast thing about it, honestly, and he makes some seriously good points. Like, Biden is the way he like talks and the way he just trails off on like thoughts and the way he thinks he's running for Senate right now and not for the presidency.
Yeah.
You see that? Like this man, like what does he think he's doing? Like how has no one pulled him aside and said,
Hey Joe, get your fucking shit together,
we're
man.
literally talking nonsense right now.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing? I feel bad for the guy.
I love it. I eat it up.
I don't know what he thinks he's
care.
doing, but
he's just, you know what, Paul?
Bless his heart.
He's living his best life.
That's
okay,
true.
He's being irrevocably himself or some shit like that. I don't know. Whatever fucking word would be on like American Eagle's like wall or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, guys, good for him.
Good for him. And please, Joe Biden, please make it to the nomination. I really want to see that happen.
That would be great.
That would be legendary. That'd be funny. Man. I mean, you know, first he takes Obama's job, and then, you know, it'd be great is if he just if Trump just was like, "Hey, Mike, you want to take this one?" and just had the VP go against the former VP.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
I'm pretty sure Mike Pence and Joe Biden had a debate. I'm pretty sure of the presidential debates, there's 4 of them. 3 of them are the presidential candidates, and one of them is the vice presidential candidate.
Well, yeah, but it was Mike Pence versus
Oh, no
who did
shit.
Hillary have?
It wouldn't have been.
Who did Hillary have as a vice president?
Hillary.
I don't remember.
Clinton. I'm trying to think of her posters. This is why we have the internet,
That's
folks,
right, I
so we can
cannot
look up
remember.
things.
So unmemorable, I don't even remember, honestly.
Wasn't some from Minnesota? Hillary Clinton, VP, 2016. Hang on. 2016. Okay, thanks, Google, for Tim Kaine.
Oh,
Clinton Kaine.
Kaine, that's right.
Never mind, it wasn't Biden.
Oh,
I would love to see Pence and Biden go at
that
it.
would be great.
I'd love to see anyone go at it with Biden. Have you watched the Democratic debates?
Honestly, no. I haven't watched any of them yet.
Biden, like every 7 or 8
I
minutes.
just watch highlights the day after.
Every 7 or 8 minutes, Biden's like, "Oh shit, I should probably say something, shouldn't I?" Like that's like the like expression he has on his face. He goes, "I'd like to point out." That's how they fucking come into every point. I'd like to point out, that.
And I have like of the summaries and like the post debate shows that I've watched and stuff and like seen. The last one was an absolute shit show. Like
In South Carolina or
it
Vegas?
might have been the one. No, this very last one that happened.
Okay.
Which I think was South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. I think they were in Vegas before.
They were just shouting
Yeah, they were in
over
Vegas.
each other.
Oh my gosh.
They were just yelling
Yeah.
constantly, trying to get. Like, everybody's just trying to talk over each other.
Mhm.
And
Nobody's civil anymore. That's a Joker reference right there for you.
There
folks.
you go. Honestly, yeah. Speaking of,
You think men like Joe Biden ever think what it's like to be someone like me? They don't.
society.
Says a lot about society.
Speaking of Joker movie, like, what's any great movies you've seen lately?
Best
Anything
movie,
super
the
lately?
best movie I've seen lately. Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I have not seen it. I'm a big Tarantino guy, but
This
I have
shit
not yet seen
Is
it.
so good. That
I've heard the final scene is just amazing.
bro,
I gotta watch it.
bro,
now.
the
Apparently.
final scene makes the whole movie. It is
Okay.
so good.
Okay, I definitely have to watch it.
So Brad Pitt won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
Oh.
Yes, definitely.
Hmm.
100%. Yeah, he deserved it.
Okay, well,
Yes.
that's good to know that.
That is the. When did that come out?
I'm
Did
like
that come out in 2020 or 2019?
19.
I'm gonna look it up. Just we like to shoot straight here. Once upon a time in Hollywood. 2019. You're right. That might be the third best movie that came out in 2019.
I'm guessing number 1 is Joker. Wait, who?
Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm.
oh,
Hmm.
of course. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Avengers Endgame. Yeah, of
Avengers
course.
Endgame. Number 2 is.
Joker.
Yep.
Yeah,
Number
yeah.
3 is.
It'd be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The ending is so good. Leonardo DiCaprio. This might be my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of good ones. Really?
I usually don't like his movies for whatever reason. I don't know.
Really?
Well, I guess.
Did you see Inception?
Yeah. I think I hated it because everyone loved it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm one of
I
those
love
guys.
it. I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan.
Oh,
Anything by
I am-
Christopher Nolan
I am
is usually
too,
really
but-
good. Like, you combine Christopher Nolan and some Hans Zimmer. Like, it's literally a
that shit
recipe
slaps,
for
bro.
just exactly. It's pure success. Like, you can't.
Dunkirk.
Oh,
That was great. That was a great
The
movie.
Dark Knight. Like,
Dark Knight.
everything. Like,
The
it's just-
trilogy, yeah.
it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I love
That's like anything with Steven Spielberg and John Williams,
it. Yeah. No, it's very.
or
very true. 'Cause they did Saving Private Ryan together, didn't they?
who?
Or-
Spielberg?
Spielberg did Saving Private Ryan, but I don't. Was it John Williams?
I
Was
don't.
the
I don't think
soundtrack?
John Williams did the soundtrack for that. I
Hmm.
think I would remember. See,
No, I think you're right. I can't remember. off the top of my head.
composer. Holy fuck! You're right.
Oh, am I right?
John Williams.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea. Okay.
Hmm.
Also, Air Force guy, John Williams.
Oh yeah.
He was like a chief. I don't know what he was, but he was something. He was like he was enlisted, but he was pretty high up. He was like
Nice.
a
Okay.
master sergeant or something.
Good stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is amazing. Probably, actually, so my favorite. If I see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood one more time, I think it will be my favorite Tarantino movie.
Wow.
Yeah. Right now, number one is Inglourious Bastards, and number two is Pulp Fiction, which I find that people like Pulp Fiction more just because it's like the classic Tarantino film.
Right. Yeah.
But I love Inglourious Bastards. I love Brad Pitt is such a great actor. My God.
It's too bad he's just so. I mean, again, it's just like everything with Hollywood. Like,
you know what?
the person himself. Like,
So
he's so.
So you know how I am, obviously, and I'm sure people from this particular episode of the podcast can guess. I don't give a fuck. I love Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Great actor. Politics, I could give a shit. Chris Evans, love the man. I love every movie. I've seen a lot of his movies. I've tried to see at least all of his movies. I think I have 3
like
left to see.
Is Icebreaker? Is that the movie I'm thinking of?
No, you're thinking of Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer, yeah. That's
that
what I'm
one.
thinking
That was
of.
a good one.
Great film.
All of his movies. I think I have 3 left that I haven't seen yet. Loved every one of them. Loved him in every one of them. Brad Pitt. Love him in the Tarantino films. I also saw Ad Astra. That was a
I have
great
been meaning
movie.
to see it, and I have not.
That's a
yet.
great one.
Is it really? Okay,
It's like
good.
I think it's better than Interstellar.
Oh, that's tough. Interstellar is probably it's in my top 3 of like favorite films of all time. Ever.
I like it because it's less stupid. I didn't really care for Interstellar actually.
Wow.
Well, because it's like, isn't that a Christopher Nolan one too?
Yeah. It's a Hans Zimmer
and Hans
Christopher
Zimmer.
Nolan.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's less Inception, more Apollo 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see where you make that.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit more realistic, I get, which I guess I kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
It's those more real movies, just like Avengers Endgame, the more realistic ones.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
But yeah, I don't care. I don't care what they say. I don't pay attention to it. I don't have Twitter anymore, so I don't give a shit.
You're not fans of them for their politics. You're
No.
fans of them for what they do on the
Exactly.
screen.
That's
Yeah.
like what one of Socrates, I think, one of his things is like something about like, or someone said, I don't know who said it, but it's like, judge a man for what he does, not what he says. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
with
like,
you.
okay, yeah. For what they do, they act phenomenal. I
Mhm.
couldn't do that. Joker, phenomenal act. That's probably the best acting I've ever seen in my life.
He was
Was
incredible.
Joker.
Yeah.
What he says, okay,
Mhm.
that's fine. That's his opinion. I don't care.
Jeez.
I'm not going to be affected by it. And I'm certainly not going to turn myself down to good movies because of what someone says.
Well, it's kind of like, yeah. I mean, yeah. You see it all the time, honestly, especially with like anything Hollywood. Like Saving Private Ryan's one of my favorite films of all time, and Tom Hanks is, but you can't really care too much about.
Yeah,
this
yeah. I mean, I love Toy
They
Story.
have every right to their own opinion.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't give a shit.
Whatever.
And I hate it when people are like, just because you have a platform doesn't mean you should talk. Like, you're not gonna if you were given a platform, you're not gonna talk about shit. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
Right.
If I had a bigger platform than the fucking like 20 people that have heard my podcast,
Yeah.
I would be talking out of my
Yeah.
ass.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd be running over my time at the Oscars. Oh yeah, I'd be going for 5 minutes, having them cue up the music, trying to boot me off the stage. They'd already cut to commercial. They'd cut back, and I'd still be on stage.
Speaking of which, how about like Ricky Gervais?
Oh
my God.
man! Another person whose politics aren't actually aligned with ours, but still, give them the
Exactly.
time of day.
Exactly, man.
It's
Jeez.
just, and that's another reason to not be afraid is because people are so fed up with cancel culture. They're just so sick and tired of it. It's like, really? Why? Because he hurt your feelings? Or because, not even because he hurt your feelings, because you got your feelings hurt because you couldn't turn off your fucking TV or your computer? Really? If this podcast hurts your feelings, there's the pause button. There's the mute button right there.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure there's a power source to your computer, tablet, or phone.
Exactly.
If you don't want to if you don't want to listen to it, then don't listen to it.
It's the beauty of
Yeah,
the internet.
There's a billion podcasts out there, and this one is just out there for people who want to listen to it. And if you agree, great. If you like the fact that we're saying something different, which I don't know if we really are, but because there's so many things out there. But if you like what we're saying, or you just like to hear our voices,
Yeah,
great,
exactly.
But that's why I really don't. That's why with Hollywood, I really don't give a shit what they say, what they do. Whatever contributions they want to make to whatever organizations, whatever plant-based bullshit they want to serve at the Golden Globes. If I was at the Golden Globes, I'd probably like Uber Eats like a steak or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then that's my choice as a private citizen to do. And then that's that. And then if I win, great. If I don't, or if I win, then I'll probably, like I said, you honestly think you're going to win something and get a time to speak and not say something? Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're going to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man. This is kind of a really random thing, but I was thinking, this is super, super random.
Oh, wow.
We're going to completely different end of the spectrum. I don't know why I started thinking about this, but have you ever... I'm sorry, listeners. This is super incredible. There's no segue here into this other subject here.
This is not me. This is all Paul.
Yeah.
This is not my podcast anymore. This is his.
Have you ever thought about getting a motorcycle?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I have.
Why haven't you? I feel like your personality type. I mean, other than finance, is it just literally just finding the money to
I almost bought Zach's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, almost.
Okay.
But I didn't have the money. But then I also, I'll tell you a little story.
I just see you on the back of some sort of like 1940s knucklehead Harley.
Oh, yeah. No, I would love to. But I'll tell you why. So I'll tell you a little story, and this will hopefully shed some light on why I didn't, or why I haven't yet. I might. I don't know. I might in the future. So when we were going to Hawaii, my sister was like, "Oh, let's go surfing. Waves are great over there." I've been surfing a few times over here. I was like, "Oh, yeah." And then I thought about it. I'm like, this is the Atlantic. There's no great white sharks. There's no seals here. So they don't know what the bottom of a surfer looks like. But in Hawaii, there are seals and there are great white sharks. So they know what the bottom of a seal looks like. And it looks like someone on a surfboard. So I don't want to be the fucking dumbass who is so unlucky that he goes on vacation and gets his arm chewed off by a fucking great white shark because he wanted to have fun on a surfboard when he could just do it here.
Okay.
And then she's like, "Well, we can go in a shark cage." I'm like, I don't want to be the unlucky idiot who goes in the shark cage and it breaks and then the shark just decides to eat me. And they chum the water to get the sharks there.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, I don't want to put myself in the situation where I'm likely to die.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, please explain to me the unlikely situation that you could be in where you could fucking die.
Yeah, I was there. I mean, honestly, yeah. I completely understand where you're coming from. Like,
Asher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That I don't want to be the unlucky dumbass who was on his bike and someone forgot to
tie down their load
tie
in the
down
back of
his
the truck.
fucking drywall in his pickup truck and it smacks me at 70 miles an hour. I don't want to deal with. I really, honestly, don't want to deal with that.
Honestly, like that. When I got into my, I guess my listeners don't know, but I got into an accident my freshman year where I totaled my bike and I broke my right collarbone. I got 3rd-degree burns, like road rash on my left ankle. Knocked me out of school for like 2.5 weeks or something like that.
I thought it was like a month.
It might have been a month. I don't even remember, honestly. It was so long ago now.
This is all evidence pointing in my way, by the way.
And honestly, and then did you ever hear about the second accident I had?
What?
Yeah, I guess not many people know about this one. It was kind of an accident. So, it was I don't remember, junior year or something like that. I was back home. The deer.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm on my way home, and it's literally I am maybe a quarter of a mile from my house.
Well, you live in the middle of
in the middle of nowhere, corn country, basically. Yeah. And I am right to the stop sign, and this stupid ass deer. Now, here's what happens: this deer, jumps across the road And then, like, out of danger, like, I looked at him, he looked at me, and he ran across the road, and then he stopped, turned around, we made eye contact, and then he decided to run back across the road right into the front of my motorcycle, basically. Then I started sliding around
Impressive.
and stuff like that. Yeah, it's
Very
very
nice.
nice. Yeah, impressive. So, I mean, honestly, I totally understand
Yeah.
why you wouldn't want to get on a bike.
Oh.
I mean,
And then you just factor in Florida drivers.
oh, fuck.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's true.
No, sir.
That's why I did not bring my motorcycle down here
Yeah.
when I moved down here for temporary, because I didn't want to be at the, basically at the whim of these Florida drivers.
I don't. It's nothing that I'm sure I could confidently ride a motorcycle.
Oh yeah,
And if there are no other drivers on the road, oh yeah, let's
it's
do
great.
it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
I guess that explains it. Honestly,
yeah.
I was just
No, that's
just
like the one
curious.
thing I don't want to pay all this money, get my motorcycle license, pay for a bike, pay for a helmet, pay for a jacket, pay for gloves. Always wear jeans for some reason. I mean, I know why,
Yeah.
but and then fucking like get my neck broken in half.
It does honestly sit in the back of your mind usually, which is actually a good thing. Like you don't want to be the type of person who rides around with zero fear, because that fear
Yeah.
is really what kind of keeps you most aware of everyone else.
Yeah,
If
but
you're
then,
assuming you're about to get killed at every corner, that kind of makes you hyper aware of everything.
and that's what the
At the same
problem
time,
with-
it kind of ruins the experience. a little
Exactly.
bit.
Like the first time I went surfing, I sat with that fear that some idiot shark is going to think I'm some fish,
Right.
even though I'm clearly not. But he's too stupid to know I'm not.
It's just that outside chance.
Yeah, it's just the outside chance. I mean, luckily I have all my arms and limbs. I never got attacked by a shark, and I hate when like, well, you're more likely to be attacked in shallow water. Well, that's where all the fucking people are.
Yeah. Right.
No shit.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is just swimming like 200 meters out there? No
Yeah.
one.
No, exactly.
Just swimming. Not like scuba diving. I get that. Or snorkeling. I get that. But just swimming. No one's doing that. Okay? So just shut up about the 98% of people are
Yeah.
attacked in shallow water. Anyways. But yeah, like that's like one of the things when I was like surfing for the first time. I was like, oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, no. What's that? And then, but at least with surfing, when you see dolphins, there are no sharks around. Because dolphins will kill. A pod of dolphins will kill a shark.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So if you see dolphins, you're in the clear
Oh, well, that's
because
good.
there will be no sharks there. And I know the ocean is huge. I get that. And the likelihood that you'll see anything, it's like when people go on like that's why safaris in Africa are like 2 weeks long, because you maybe see one ostrich,
Yeah.
and same thing with the ocean. And not only is it like long, like just horizon lengthwise, but it's deep, So like, who knows where they are? But then it's also like, well, who knows where they are? Where are they?
Right underneath you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then like when a thing of seaweed hits your foot and you're on the board, you're like,
God, I hate that. Yeah. Oh, honestly, like when I first came down here and I went into like the ocean for the first time,
yeah.
I was so uncomfortable. I'm
Were you
a
in-
Wisconsin boy.
In the Gulf.
Just to Panama City Beach.
So
like,
Gulf.
I guess that is Gulf.
That's the Gulf.
Yeah. And not even going deep in the water, but just like walking. And as soon as you stop seeing your feet
Mm-hmm. Oh my.
and you feel things hit your feet, you don't know if that's a fish, making sweet love to your foot, or if you're just going
Or just a seaweed.
a seaweed.
Yeah.
I can't. It freaked me out.
Okay, so it was when you were down here, but so when it was you, me, Zach, Joe, and all the ladies. They were down here for their spring break for their 5th year, and not Jack. I just combined Joe and Zach. Zach, Joe, and I were in Clearwater, and we were swimming out. And so in Clearwater, there's this sandbar that's probably 5 feet deep, probably 15 meters out. And so we were standing on there, and we are just like talking, whatever, having a good time. And Zach looks down, and he goes, "What's that circular thing down there?" Like, what? And he looks down, and I see this circle moving around in the water. I'm like,
Jesus.
no. I'm not Steve Irwin. I didn't give my life to the ocean. Fuck that thing. I'm out of here. So I book it back.
Crikey.
Like at like a half mile an hour, however fast I can swim. And Zach's just like, well, it's just like a little like stingray or something. I'm like, I don't know. I don't care.
To find out.
I'm not about to find out. I'm not about to get stung. And if I get stung and if it hurts, I don't even want to get a little pinch. You know, I'm not trying to do that.
Getting stung with jellyfish suck too.
Yeah, and apparently that happens all the time
Oh, yeah.
along the Atlantic coast. At least I don't know about the Gulf, but I know people get stung all the time there. But even still, the jellyfish there are so small. You know, it's like they literally could be anywhere, and they're usually nowhere. It's I think it's like electrons in an electron cloud. If you were to pick where it is, it's not going to be there. But there's a probability that it could be there.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a great point.
So fish are electrons.
Oh, that's the logic we're using.
That's the logic I use. And then
whatever
wherever
else.
I am, I don't want it to be there. Well, not fish. Fish are fine, but like sharks and stuff, But yeah, one thing I will have to say though about Hawaii is that the water is beautiful.
It is. Yeah,
That's amazing. You've
I
been
was
there
for a month.
Wow.
J-term, sophomore year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about
I got
that.
food poisoning halfway through.
Oh, see, it could be any food, but it was the one that you had.
Pretty sure it was chicken. Yeah, that was a terrible experience.
It's the chicken.
But Hawaii was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't want to live there, personally. I would hate living there, but visiting once in a while, it's fine.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
it's fine.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, the homeless. I don't know from what island were you on? Do you know? Oahu. You were.
I was at Honolulu. I was in Honolulu at the University of Hawaii.
So Oahu. That's the island. Yep. Yeah. The Hawaii has the biggest homeless rate of any state.
Really? I didn't realize that.
They basically use their
it makes
last.
sense,
They
but
use
it's
their
like-
last buck to get out there, and
Oh,
they just stay. I mean, it's
Fool
perfect
around?
weather. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just stay out there. But yeah, that's one thing. After you get outside of the resorts
That's
that
a
we were
good
at,
point. I did notice that. Yeah.
It's
I remember
horrible.
my lasting memory of Hawaii is pretty disgusting, but I remember that I was with a friend, Jake, and this is really embarrassing because she was wearing an Aaron Rodgers jersey. So
Paul, for the past hour and whatever minutes, I forgot you were a Packers fan.
That's right. I'm a Packers fan, folks. Much to his chagrin. Anyway, so that in that case,
All right, podcast over. It's been a good time. All right, bye.
You'll appreciate this story because she was wearing this. There was this homeless lady that was wearing a Packers Aaron Rodgers jersey, and she was at the bus stop, not waiting for the bus, but just sitting at the bus stop, with all of her belongings.
Just vibing.
Straight vibing. And Jake and I were standing off kind of to the side. I mean, waiting for this bus to show up. And, all right, mind you, this was in the middle of the day. This was like 12 noon. Okay, there are people walking around and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She literally, there was this like maybe 3-foot high concrete ledge that was running behind the bus stop. And it kind of went to some grass behind it and stuff. She hoisted herself up on top of the 3-foot ledge behind the bus stop, basically. And she proceeded to pull her pants down and defecate all over the place, right in front of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And that was honestly my first experience of, like, I guess, true... How do you want to call that?
Well,
homelessness? I mean, it just
it
was
was
sad is what it was, honestly.
I think what I would call that is a Packers fan if I ever
Oh,
saw
I was
one.
waiting for it. Oh,
I got him.
How was your Lombardi Trophy case doing?
Oh, you bring that shit up. You know what? You win like the first 2 Super Bowls and then one in like the 60s. And then what? When was the last one you won? 2012?
2010.
You have 4, right?
2010. Yeah.
Oh, 2010. Okay.
Yeah, there were 2 in the 60s. And
Oh, so back when there was, what,
1996.
5 teams?
Oh, come on. Come on.
Okay, 6 teams.
We won Super Bowl 1.
Okay, so 4 teams.
Okay, well, We won it. Who cares?
I don't even know if the Vikings were a team back then.
Honestly, I don't even know what. I don't know.
I think we started in 61, actually.
I don't even know the Vikings. Ugh. Hey, you know what? Do you know why? Speaking of origins of Vikings, do you know why the Minnesota Vikings colors are purple?
No.
Because if you were choking for that many years, you'd be purple too.
That's actually pretty funny.
I had to get one jab.
That's
in there.
funny. That's a good one. I like that.
Anyway.
That's good.
But anyway, yeah.
Yep.
That's my Hawaii homeless story.
Okay. Your Packers homeless story?
No.
I have to say it, Paul. Sorry. You brought it up that
That's
she was
true.
wearing an Aaron Rodgers jersey.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that that about sums up the Packers. Sorry, I can't not do it. I'm bred to do it. Just blame it on my mom. But yeah, Hawaii, beautiful state. I don't want to get eaten by sharks, a.k.a. I don't want to ride a motorcycle because some dumbass won't fasten his drywall properly. You know.
You never know. You never know.
You know. But yeah, tomorrow got a quite busy day.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah, it's going to
It's
be good.
great.
Yeah, Paul and I are going to go shoot some rifles.
Birthday weekend bash.
Going to go shoot some rifles, go to Disney, hang out. And then we got that 8:30 res. Great sea bass ceviche. They actually do have a great sea bass ceviche. I'm not even kidding.
Do they actually?
Yeah, they have ceviche there. Yeah, so we're going to get some.
Wow.
American Psycho reference right there, folks. Yep. All right. Is there anything else, Paul, before we go? Before we say good night, is there anything else?
Honestly, I don't think so. This has been great. Honestly,
been
I
a
hope
great
that this whole podcast thing takes off.
Yeah, and I hope that this doesn't just fucking deter everyone that had ever listened to it, you know? I'm sure, here's my prediction. Some people who listen to the first one are going to listen to this one and hate it. And some people who listen to the first one and listen to this one are going to love it.
It's kind of polar opposites, honestly.
It is. It's very opposite. But, you know, that is... Actually, I do want to talk about this real quick. It has been going on a little bit. But I do want to say that this is the point of the podcast, is that I want to talk about so many different things. And it is my goal to have people on that's like... that are even-keeled, like Michael, that are kind of more like me, like Paul, and whoever I can get on that is opposite of me on any sort of political, ecological, physiological, nutritional spectrum, whatever.
Right.
Like, I want to get them on. And this is... Don't think of this as being pulled to one side. I want to expand this podcast into as many different ways as I possibly can. And I mean, this is what me and my friends talk about, you know. If, like I said, if you don't like it, okay. Sorry. Stay tuned for the next one. See what happens in the next one.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, actually in the next one, because I don't know if I'll have any more. You guys definitely won't be down for a while. I won't have here. Okay, how about this, folks? I won't see these guys in a long time. So that breaks my heart, but you know, maybe it'll be good for you guys. But yeah, so probably the next one is going to be a surprise one. It's going to be fun. No, it's not. It's actually going to be very depressing, but it's going to be cool. It's going to be my theories on things.
Depressing in a cool way.
Yes, in a cool way.
Cool whip.
Cool whip.
Oh boy.
Yes. Anyways, but no, it's going to be different. Every podcast I want to do something different. So next one will be different. Paul, thanks for coming down, making the drive down, being on the podcast.
Hey, it's been great. Thanks for having me.
And hey, Paul. Sorry, I actually unintentionally did an American Psycho reference right there.
I was like, oh, here he goes again.
That was a complete accident. Happy birthday.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. All right, folks. This has been an episode of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Whatever you guys want to talk about. If you hated it, let me know. If you loved it, let me know. I will catch you guys later. Have a great night.